Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Neon, and I'm back with an update on the Doctor Who ratings. The Doctor Who ratings have been quite the topic of discussion on pop culture blogs and on Twitter over the past several weeks, ever since the show debuted with a record high debut for Jodie Whittaker. Everything has been going down. So this week we've got some updated numbers on Doctor Who. Now, we've had people tell us in the comments that things are fine, that Doctor Who actually always dips mid-season and then it always swings back up toward the end of the season. However, if you go out to drwhotv.co.uk, you will see that there is no upswing. In fact, Doctor Who is still declining. The last few weeks, we've been dropping off. Episode 6, 5.77 million, 7.23 million for the consolidated. Episode 7, now we did have a little bit of a spike there, but it stayed flat for consolidated. Episode 8 dropped again, 5.66 million, with consolidated numbers at 7.03. And I imagine episode 9, which is toward the end of the run, this is when things should be picking up, and they are not picking up. 5.07 million. We don't know what the consolidated numbers are, but this is a downward trend. It's doing better than Capaldi's last season for sure, but we're definitely getting down there. Now, a viewer actually sent me this chart, and it shows sort of the ratings for Doctor Who throughout the revival. You can see, it's always had ups and downs. The series has always had its ups and downs, and so we're kind of on the downward. But after the Day of the Doctor, now this is and this kind of goes with my feeling, just my interest, my own personal interest in the show. After the 50th, I kind of lost interest in Doctor Who, and you can see the downward trend beginning with Capaldi's era, and it went down, and there's a little bit of a spike. I think people tune in at the beginning to see if it gets any better, and then it goes down. Now, Jodie Whittaker's skyrocketed, I think, because 1, it was the first female doctor, and 2, it was a new showrunner. So I think people were tuning in to see if the show would improve. And once they realized that it really wasn't improving that much, in fact, many people felt that it had gotten worse, you can see the steep drop off. And now we're kind of down into Capaldi level numbers again. Now, this would be, I think, Matt Smith's final season, which had some drop off in it too, but we're definitely getting down there. So now the companions are coming out to defend Doctor Who, which is kind of interesting. The companions are coming out to say that the claims of the show being too politically correct are bizarre. It's a bizarre claim that people think the show's too politically correct. Of course, they're going to say that. They're working on the show. I'm sure that they're not real happy with things that are being said about the criticism the show has received. So the actors who play Ryan and Yaz came out and they said the storylines create conversation about broader issues. Now, this is coming from The Guardian. The stars of Doctor Who have rejected claims that the program has become too politically correct, defending its storylines as an entertaining reminder of important issues. Recent episodes of the sci-fi show, which the actors recognized have provoked extreme opinions among some viewers commenting online, have covered issues including the civil rights movement and the partition of India, understood by many to have been entirely mismanaged by Britain, costing hundreds of thousands of lives, displacing more than 10 million people. The actors who play the Doctor's companion, Yaz and Ryan, told the Radio Times that broaching these topics could prompt viewers in an entertaining way to think about broader issues. Everyone's going to have their own opinion. It is what it is, Cole said. The fact that we can give everyone a little friendly, entertaining reminder of the issues is great. Responding to the accusation of being too politically correct, Gill said, "It makes me laugh because having the words too and correct in the same sentence is really bizarre to me. How can you be too correct about something?" Oh, you do see some extreme comments under news articles. I'm only human and I do check and read them, but they don't bother me, and actually they're creating conversation. Now, to be fair, our videos have gotten a lot of traction, our videos on Doctor Who, and we've never criticized the cast. I mean, I'm being completely honest here. I personally do not have a problem with any of the cast. I think they actually have a pretty solid cast. The problem I'm having is the shows are boring. And you, as far as how can you have too much political correctness, I think that's where you veer from entertainment into becoming either a history lesson or a moral lesson. You can have too much of a quote-unquote good thing, I guess, if you've got too much preaching, too much posturing, and not enough entertainment. And the show, first and foremost, is supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to be an entertaining show, and Doctor Who, at least from my perspective, it hasn't been entertaining in a while. This season, for sure, is no longer entertaining. In fact, I dropped it around the 5th or 6th episode. I haven't gotten around to watching the other episodes. I'm bored out of my mind. So they're talking about how in recent years, this is not just exclusive to Jodie Whittaker's run, but how in recent years, casual viewers have had a hard time with Doctor Who. And again, you look at the numbers, and it used to be that there was always an upswing at the end of the season. And I think the reason for that was usually, previous seasons of Doctor Who built toward a climax. They had an ongoing story arc throughout the season, and the big showdown with the big bad, whoever was pulling the strings for that particular season, was usually the last episode or two, and they're not doing that this time. They're all pretty much self-contained, none of them terribly exciting. There have been a few moments here and there. Again, I see the potential for this cast to be great, but they need better scripts, they need a different showrunner, they need something. But this is not a good trend. This is not a good trend. I don't understand why everybody thinks this is fine. It is better than Capaldi, but that's not really saying a lot. It's nowhere near what Matt Smith and David Tennant were. So anyway, if you go out to Twitter, they're already people are already commenting on Doctor Who's official Twitter account too. Like, here's the preview for next week. Again, it doesn't look terribly exciting. But the first 3 or 4 comments, getting worse episode by episode. Bring back Russell T Davies. Russell T Davies brought Doctor Who back from the dead and gave us one of the greatest eras in the entire show's history. I completely agree with this. I think Russell T Davies has been definitely my favorite showrunner so far. They said Love and Monsters is one of the worst. Yeah, but Russell T Davies didn't write that. I don't know how that one even got through. It is terrible. I have literally watched it once. I have no desire to ever watch it again. People want to know where the Daleks are. They want to know where the Cybermen are. We have Kermit, a little goblin spider's bubble wrap in an alien prison under a Yorkshire tree in 17th century England. Endless droning monologues by J.W. Jodie Whittaker, explaining the whole episode 3/4 of the way through like we're mindless idiots. Writers take a bow and wait for the BAFTA. Finale already, cries. Well, yeah, it was a very short season. Usually Who gets 12, 13, 14 episodes and only got like 9 or 10 this time. Crazy. So the last, this must be in reference to the last episode. The last episode got really mixed reviews. People were like, it was really, really trippy. But yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen after this. Now, the rumor is still that Jodie Whittaker might only do 6 episodes with Chris Chibnall next time and then leave. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know if I really care. I mean, I'm kind of starting to feel the same way about Doctor Who I feel about Star Wars, where I just, it's not really for me anymore. And I was obsessed with Doctor Who. Like, I love Doctor Who. It was my favorite show. It was literally the only show I watched live every week for years. And toward the end of Matt Smith's run and Peter Capaldi's first season, I kind of lost interest. I lost interest in Doctor Who. And, I'm hoping that, the show that got me hooked will return someday. I don't think it's going to be under this regime, but maybe someday, somehow, Who will return to its former glory. I can only hope. But this isn't real encouraging. So, what are your thoughts? Do you still watch Series 11? Do you care? What do you think about the actors coming out and talking about how this is fine? The stories need to be more political, I guess. I don't know. Are you still watching Who? Have you checked out? What other shows would you recommend to watch instead of Doctor Who right now? You know, I had another favorite, was Daredevil, and they pulled the plug on that, and I'm really pissed. So I don't even get Daredevil now. But please subscribe to Clownfish TV for more pop culture news, views, rants, art videos, gaming videos, and more. This has been Neon. I'll talk to you later.